would have fixed it going into it. I don't know. Don't know.
Has that happened before? I mean, is that the first time here in Buffalo?
Next question.
I don't know, man. I'm thinking about this game. I'm not thinking about what happened before. I just feel like we went into this game and you know, a tough football team. We knew that. Young quarterback that had the opportunity to go out there and sling the ball around. We knew what they were gonna do, and they just beat us. They beat us.
Maybe this is the right question. Do you guys feel prepared for that?
I feel like we felt prepared. Had a good week of practice. Felt confident going into the game. You know, they came out real aggressive. You could tell from the start their game plan coming into the game. They were going to play physical, and they just beat us.
Both you guys had the message to not panic after you lost to Pittsburgh in week 1. You seem to bounce back well from that. So how do you do that again after today?
Same thing. This is the NFL. You got to learn how to handle the wins, handle the losses. Yeah, this one hurts, but we got to play again on Sunday. So no reason to. Yeah, this one's gonna hurt, but 24-hour rule. Watch the tape tomorrow. Learn from our mistakes and get better.
You've been, Mike, very supportive when the offense doesn't have a good day. Today, you give up 9 points and you lose. Is there a conscious thing to keep that support going? Is that just the message that the team always has?
We had some opportunities out there defensively to take the ball away, and I'm not sure how many takeaways they got, but you know, I think on our side we got one, and we left a couple opportunities out there. So, you know, we take pride in getting those takeaways, and I feel like that could have changed the game a little more, put the offense in a better field position. Even if they did get 3 points, obviously you can see that 3 points was big in this game. So, you know, we felt like, you know, we could have some opportunities for the offense.
You guys had 5 personal fouls today, I think. I mean, you guys are
Jesus.
team captains, leaders. I mean, how is that? How does that number go over when you hear it? And what's your message to that locker room, given your status as leaders for this team?
I mean, guys are out there playing football. I don't know. There's a lot of he said this, you know, he said this, he pushed me first, depending on how the ref sees it. You know, obviously we got to be able to handle our emotions in situations like that in a football game. But, you know, sometimes they're aggressive penalties, sometimes they're not. We just got to be able to bounce back off of it. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
Yep.
Mitch, how would you kind of describe the way the offensive line played today?
You know, when you put 6 points on the board, not good enough, probably. Simple as that. So, much like every loss or every game, you look at what you can fix. I can only speak for myself. There's quite a few plays I wish I'd had back, put us in an optimal position to play more efficiently. And I think, you know, I think most of the guys would say the same thing.
Was there a sense of frustration as the game kept going and there just wasn't a rhythm offensively?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was one of those things where we try to keep the best poise you can, but understand that there's a sense of urgency. And I think for us, it'll be finding that balance. You know, I think we just didn't do a good enough job. They outplayed us, and the final score shows. Defense did a tremendous job today. Gave us every opportunity to win this game. Just speaking from myself, need to do more.
Mitch, I know you gotta watch the film, I get all that, but a lot of times with this team, no matter what the situation, in game, you guys have found answers, maybe even at halftime. There was never an answer up front today. They pressured you all day, and I don't know what was going on the sidelines, but you never had an answer. Can you explain why that was?
You know, sometimes we just got outplayed. Sometimes it was the frustrating. But all you can do in games like this, all you can do is point inwards, look intrinsically, and go from there. Understand that, we have we got to figure some stuff out. Plain and simple. A sense of urgency now. So we'll go from there.
When
When you say sense of urgency, within this game, a couple of comments ago, can you take me inside that? Were you guys urgent enough in this game? Was that an issue?
Yeah. To do the best you can when your number's called. Urgency is just putting points in the board as an offense. So,
Some injuries, was communication an issue up front?
no, I wouldn't say so. I thought we did a good job communicating for the most part. When we did, it showed. So yeah, maybe not. You'd like to be perfect, and we weren't. And on those times that we weren't, there were some unfortunate results. So.
George and Micah were in here earlier and used the word that they didn't feel maybe necessarily prepared for this game. That's not an exact quote, but did you guys feel as an offense that you were adequately prepared coming in?
I mean, you'd like to say so, but I guess we weren't. So for us, it'll be finding ways to maybe change up your routine, because today, unfortunately, was not it. So we'll have to reevaluate and go from there.
Josh made some tough decisions late in the game, bad decisions,
One question there, right? I'm not trying to be, yeah, when you don't give your quarterback time early, even when the pocket's clean, you kind of feel someone breathing down your neck. It's just it's human nature. I would do a bit of blame.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Well,
Do you want to sit here, Jay? I don't know. No, they don't want us to sit there. Do you want to sit though?
No, I don't really care.
The cameras. I'm speaking for the TV folks.
They should line the side or the chair. See all these chairs? Don't sit.
You guys want to come back here? You can.
Yeah,
Please. Come on down. There's drinks being served and everything.
Scotty, you're good right there. Those clear, those three in the middle.
Oh, come on down and sit down. Matt Perino, come on down. All right, one more board there, I'm sorry. Right? Yeah, that's right.
take it seriously, Scotty.
I will.
Davis, and it looked like it hit his hands. And it just fell, but it also looked like if he caught it, it was 20 yards. Did he drop it or did it get hit?
Do you want to sit? I don't need to sit. Are you sure?
I don't want to sit. It was right at the end of the game. It was like,
Which way is he rolling?
he was rolling to his left.
So to the Bill sideline?
Yeah. With like, it was the last drive of the game. He made it 3rd and 6 before the second. It was a play before the second. Right here. I think if he runs to the sideline, he steps up in the pocket and throws it to Davis, right there.
No, yeah, bad throw.
It's off his hand, but it's fast. We could.
Yeah, to be honest, Mike,
He has shown us that
play to the level of their
No, but a bunch of people have. It was not something unique.
I would argue it's these socks, because I'm 0 for 2 in these socks. So I would say that's what it goes.
whatever it
Burn
was.
the socks, right? Use them like some down for me for college. Burn them, I'll tell you. Just never wear them.
One of those was a 7-yard run, and he had to give
This is what happened.
Get a tie next fall, small.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a tie something.
I'll let you wear the socks.
Who might have been there if they would have pulled the trigger? Because they had no answer. What are they gonna do? Who are you gonna turn to? How are you turning to this? Until those guys get back, which who knows?
We gotta put the roll back on the top.
can't be any worse.
You could also just not follow.
I gotta tell you,
Josh, I mean, let's be honest, it was a horrible performance on offense. Can you even put into words what was going on up there today?
And credit to them, they came out, they wanted it more. You know, we had a lot of little things add up to big things. And I put the ball in danger too often, bit us in the butt, played like shit, excuse my language, but that starts with me. So I got to be better for this team. But again, those guys on defense get paid too. They had a good game plan.
Josh, the protection, it just seemed like, I don't know if it was communication breakdowns or what, but you were scrambling a lot, took some sacks. Just what could you identify as to maybe on the sidelines as to what was going wrong up front and giving you enough time to find guys?
It's part of the game. You know, we talked about their front being pretty good. You know, again, it starts with me. I can do some things better to help our guys out, get rid of the ball a little quicker. And this one stings, but I'll tell you that this one makes the other games feel better. You know, having this pit in our stomach right now puts things into perspective. You know, it's a week-to-week league. Any given Sunday, any team can come out here and play well and beat the other team. That's just how it goes. It's life sometimes. We'll use this to our advantage. We'll be better from it.
Josh, what until the fourth quarter of that one series when you started getting the ball to Diggs, I mean, for the first 3 quarters, he was reasonably invisible. What were they doing? And really Emmanuel, too, really didn't have much of a role. What were they doing specifically to take them away?
Just 2 high shells, forcing us to throw underneath. You know, again, I can do things different to get our guys going early on. We didn't do a good enough job of that today. So, again, like I said, we're going to learn from this and be better from it.
Josh, in the second half, the mistakes that were on, you know, interceptions or fumbles, were you frustrated more in that second? You said this was a frustrating game, but you haven't done that, you know, certainly this year. Was it a frustration in that second half that maybe led to some of that?
I wouldn't say so. Just, again, got to be smart with the football and end every drive in a kick. Understanding how our defense is playing, not giving them a short yard or short field. And again, I got to be better. You know, I played like shit today.
Is there what do you point to personally? Like when you say you played like shit, like why? What happened personally?
Just decision making, you know, trying to get our guys going early on, finding checkdowns early on. But again, there's a lot of just little things that added up throughout the game that kind of put us behind where we wanted to be. Stalled a couple drives. You know, they had a couple tips that were big and on third downs, and you know, they hats off to them. They played hard.
Josh, when you guys were 5-2, you talked about as playoff contenders, Super Bowl contenders. They were 1-6. Was there any semblance of overlooking this opponent?
No, it's the league. It's hard to win football games, no matter who you play. We're all grown men. We all get paid to play this game. You know, they came out, they wanted it more.
Josh, you guys always maintain sort of an even keel no matter what happens, but does a game like this make you feel like you need to reevaluate everything, or is that overreacting to one game?
No, we'll let you guys do that. We're going to come out and work hard and practice hard and turn our focus towards the Jets tomorrow.
Josh, it seems like you're taking this loss harder than some other losses in your career. Why is that?
I mean, we don't want to lose. We don't want to lose games. And I feel like I could have played better, could have helped our team and put us in better situations, and I didn't. So that's I'm frustrated with myself more so than anything. And I got to be better for this team.
Jermaine, Micah and Jordan both pointed out they thought the defense left some turnovers out on the field. They thought they could have gotten a few more. Did you see the same type of thing?
Yeah, we got our hands on a couple balls, and in particular myself early in the game, there's a couple plays, I definitely left out there. Sack on the quarterback, I believe I left out there, and we could find ways to take the ball away. Defensively, that's what we pride ourselves on. Just to help the offense out. This game is a complementary game, And, anything that we could do on defense to help the offense out, we got to come away with it. So I feel like we definitely left some plays out there.
Josh, they've had to obviously shuffle some things up on the offensive line. I know you're not one to make excuses, but how much, whether it's communication, execution, do you feel as if that's affected the overall output and performance of the offense?
No, we got guys that come in and work hard. Coach Johnson does a great job with them. We talk throughout the week and we practice hard, and it's just one of those games. They found a way, we didn't. Again, our defense allowed 9 points with a couple short fields, so we got to be better for them.
Josh, so what do you do, the running game, it's just not working. When you hand the ball off, it's not working. And it really hasn't worked great all year. It's been very spotty. What can you do to get that turned around?
Just gotta keep trusting it. Our guys are running hard. And that's about it.
Tremaine, you're team captain. Both of you guys are leaders. You had 5 personal fouls today. That's a really high number. What's the message to the rest of that locker room when you hear a number like that? Because that's hard to win games when you're taking that many personal fouls.
Yeah, I think just the message is we got to play smart. Definitely in close ball games, we can't beat ourselves. And, we can't point fingers at the refs or whatever it may be. We just got to play smart ball out there. Whatever the call is, whatever we think, in close games, we just got to play smart.
Josh, Mike has said that he thought that you guys were not ready to play today. Is that something you felt also?
We put up 6 points, so that's how I felt. Thank you, guys.
Did you not hear me cursing in the first lesson? There you go.
I think so. I think we have time. Do you think we have time? I'm sorry, because I'm sure so.
No, the couple of road games for Bill's not bad, huh? Maybe they should just stay open.
This trip, that poor son of a bitch. They came down to Florida. It's 50 degrees
I know,
raining
right?
all day, and then they watched that.
At least the Tennessee game was fun.
Yeah.
Fuck. Just stay home, watch that TV.
Feliciano was right, but Ike was not. I tell you what, you swap Cody Ford for Feliciano in this game.
You didn't hear that one?
He's not the reason he lost. He's not the reason. He's not the reason.
Did you do that? You were just looking at what? Aaron Mason. No, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
I'm parking for all that, she brought up in the morning, man. No.
We should have sworn.
Yeah, they just saw this tweet. We should be talking about.
If he's not a cat, you can just like tape it shut, right?
What's that?
I thought yeah, I love this one. I gotta hope Mac Jones. I gotta hope Mac Jones.
I trade you a heartbeat. Let's say we can move on.
What about the 24/7 yards put it in there?
Hopefully not.
Oh, Jesus.
Or tape it, doesn't matter, whatever. Yes. The go-to.
Yeah.
It's kind of the tough game of the loss.
I'm sorry. I know, trust me. It is very artistic what you did there. Was that? We're all playing. Yeah.
And then the charges over here in the rain jacket, tripods, and the hood.
I don't remember them telling us that. They would have had to tell us that.
And the hoop ball and the frisbee, and then live views, both of them were in there, right? That should be good.
Wasn't Josh Lindsay?
Yeah, back both of them all,
He would?
Over the 4 games today. You know they're not sweeping right now. They're losing all of those games.
Right.
But the way they played today, they're losing.
We did.
You know, they did. Sean's gathering all the medical information that he'll say he doesn't have. It's up there.
It's like, that's pretty good. I like that.
Ready? It is. There it is.
Ready, yeah.
Said ready?
Ready. It is a difference. They could be the same.
Of course, McDermott will debunk that. He's gonna say they didn't confirm it. Right? He will. He'll say that he didn't confirm it. Well, that could be true. I think that him saying they weren't ready to play, so that's the word, that's the key word.
What about
Put you on the runway and you're ready to go. First runway.
it'll make the morning all that much better. Better acting off.
Mike, you'll cut the sides, I'll cut the deals.
There you go.
Oh,
Not Joe. Not Joe. No, you know it. Christian. What's the guy's name? The bean.
It is like Darryl Williams.
yeah, he didn't even move.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, don't you?
Well, I think it's one of
Let's
the
hope
same.
that's what it was, Jim.
Many
If that ref was just that bad.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but exactly what you're right.
All right, we'll go ahead and open up to your questions.
Sean, Mike was just out here a little while ago, said the team wasn't ready to play today. How was that possible with respect?
Well, it's a 1 week at a time league. You guys know that. We preach that, but give them the credit. They were ready to play, and we weren't.
John, you guys had 5 personal fouls today. Whether or not all of them were legitimate could be maybe debated, but That's a really high number. It's tough to win with that many.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your message to those guys?
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat yourself. Let's start there. Whether it's penalties, turnovers, fundamentals, and so, yeah, way too many penalties, self-inflicted. Got to keep our poise. That was a crew that called taunting, I believe, more than anyone in any crew in the league, and we were aware of that, and we didn't execute.
Sean, are you concerned by the play of the offense? I know everybody had a rough day, but the offensive line, in particular, a lot of problems seem to start right there tonight.
Yeah, well, we got to fix some things. Let's just start there. We got to fix some things. I'm going to take a hard look at the film, and you got to win up front in order to play well offensively or defensively.
Sean, you always keep an even keel no matter what happens, but does a game like this offensively make you want to really dig, maybe even a little deeper than you normally would? Is it any, because this type of performance?
Yeah, I mean, I have confidence in those guys, both the staff and the players. But that was a, I mean, to score 6 points, and I did think we moved the ball at times, but where we had opportunities, and then the drive would stall, whether it be in the red zone early there, or with a turnover, or for some reason, we stalled out, and so we got to go back. I got to go back and look at it and scrub it down and figure out what was going on there.
Sean, what's your take on Josh's game? Some questionable decision-making there at times, but I know protection was an issue and those sorts of things.
Yeah, I mean, that's the turnovers, that's what jumps off the paper at me. I thought Josh made some great throws at times. As he would tell you, we've got to be smarter with the football in certain situations, and just overall as an offense, we've got to figure some things out.
Sean, on the other side of the ball, do you feel like the defense left a few big turnovers out there on the field today? Had a chance to make some bigger plays?
Well, I thought defensively, that I believe it was the first third down, the third down where Trey had the penalty. It gave them life, and it gave them some energy on their sideline where we were off the field, and you can't do that. I thought defensively, we did some good things. 218 yards, 9 points, you feel pretty good if you were to tell me that, hey, but at the end of the day, it wasn't enough, and we got to look back at some of the things we did defensively as well and try and get off the field earlier in some of those series where we weren't off the field and give the ball back to our offense.
Sean, why not take the penalty and take them out of field goal range and let them try 55-yarder?
Yeah, I just felt, we weren't playing great at that point, and felt like he hadn't had a lot of field goals. I'm not sure if he had any at that distance at this point in the season, but that's one I want back. Yeah, obviously with the result the way it was.
Have you ever seen a guy miss 3 in a row like that? It was pretty unique, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's I think he only had a handful of attempts on the year, and he squeaked that one that Jay's referring to over the crossbar, so give him credit. But just felt like defensively we weren't in a great rhythm right there, and we were off the field, and felt pretty good about our chances on that field goal. And but that's one could probably go either way, but obviously with the result I'd like it back.
Sean, I recognize that there's only so much you can change in game in terms of who's dressed, but did you consider any lineup substitutions up front on the offensive line at any point?
Well, we always look at it, Jay. You know that. Some of it was where we were at this week with the injuries and everything, and we'll see. We always look at everything we can going into a game.
Hey, Sean, why punt after the false start penalty?
Where do we go to fourth and seven? Fourth and seven. I felt like we could get the ball back. I think we did get the ball back there. Is that right? Is that?
Yeah.
We had 3 timeouts, I believe. Still, we had 3 timeouts. Felt like we were in a pretty good spot, clockwise, and like I said, we got the ball back there. So, 4th and 7. Percentage-wise, we felt like, hey, let's go try and pin them down and go play defense and win the field position battle there.
Sean,
This is the second straight week that the offense especially has come out in the first half slow. Is there anything that you attribute that to?
Listen, if I knew what it was exactly, we wouldn't have done it today again, But when you go back in there, you got to look at energy level, execution, red zone. I think we, in the early drive or 2, we were in the red zone there on that one, and had the ball first and goal, I think, from the 4 or 5 yard line there, give or take, and didn't get much out of it.
Sean, it seems like the offense has looked different since Dawson Knox injury there. in Tennessee. You know, the Miami game wasn't great, this game. Is it too simple to say that the offensively still trying to figure out how life is without Dawson Knox?
No, I wouldn't go there, Josh. I understand where you're coming from, but just we got to go out there. We got enough players out there to make plays, and we got to execute at a higher level and make sure we're putting them in position. That's what I'm going to go when we get on this plan. I'm going to go look at it.
Sean, in your opinion, why is there such a difficulty right now to be able to gain consistent yardage when you're handing the ball off to your backs?
Yeah, I mean that's a huge issue right now for us, Joe. So, got to be able to run the football when it's handed off. I think we were 9 carries for 22 yards with the backs. So that's not good enough.
Josh came out here and was probably more upset than most of us have seen him after a loss at any point in his career. What do you attribute that to, and how do you make sure that his headspace remains, where you need it to be?
Yeah, I mean it's a long season, right? And I mean the guys have to realize that season's going to ebb and flow a little bit. Today, obviously, we were down and didn't get the result we wanted, but you got to hang together, and we got to go back and fix some things and make sure we identify where those problems are, in particular on the offensive side right now, and get them fixed in a hurry.
Sean, you've rarely had this, where you've been a favorite in this kind of game and lost. Is there an overall message you'll have or do have for the team right now? Because this is something that hasn't happened since you've been.
Yeah, well, we've been fortunate that way, but to me, it goes back to preparing every week, and that's the National Football League. You got to prepare every week. They've got good players, good coaches, and they played really, really well today. And so, we preach that all the time, and that's why we've gotten the results we have to this point. Didn't get it today, so we got to go back and look at why.
Sean, this is more minor, but last play on the punt, why send 11 rather than go for
Yeah, just trying to make something happen with the block. So we can go one of two ways, or put the returner back and try and get something going, or go for the block. 7 seconds left. I think they reset it was 5 initially, or 4 seconds, or even down to 3, and they reset it to 7. So just trying to make something happen there at that point.
Jay asked you about the personal foul penalties, but the penalties as a whole were an issue today. How do you fix that?
Well, I mean, I'd like to believe we're a disciplined team, but it doesn't show right now. And so I got to go back and look at that as well. I mean, we practice a certain way, but for some reason it's not being reflected in the way we're beating ourselves with penalties.
I know you gotta go back and look at the tape. Stephon had some success in the second half, but it seemed like a struggle to get him involved. Did they do anything to take him away, or is it just something offensively?
I mean, I didn't feel that. Like you said, we'll go back and look at it, but that's something we have to think long and hard about. All right, thanks.
That's it for the room.
Johnny, I told Paul that we can run out this.
Okay, I'm ready for you to take a look at some when you want.
Yep, I'm good to go.